and thank you for taking the time out of what I can only imagine is a very busy and hectic schedule as you work to find activities for your children and you engage with their learning. That was the primary reason that I decided to create a YouTube channel of stories. First and foremost, it is to give entertainment and enjoyment for the children. But in listening to a storyteller, a child gets many more benefits than he or she might think. When they are listening to the storyteller's words, they are visualizing and engaging their imagination. They have to take their previous knowledge, what they know about stories, other stories they have heard, and they mix it all up with the storyteller's words and they create something new. They are making their very own mind movies. And as the storyteller tells the story, they are hearing language used in ways that they might not hear it used in the day-to-day conversations that are happening around them. They will hear different kinds of sentence structures. They will hear new words and also old words used in new kinds of ways. They will hear phrases and chants, similes and metaphors. The language that they hear is more like a book language than it is a conversation language. So your child is experiencing a great deal of modeling when they listen to a storyteller, but they are working very hard. And the ability to tell a coherent, fully developed story is a very important literacy skill. In fact, it's just as important as all the other literacy skills your child is learning. And that is the listening part. But you can also engage your child in a speaking part, and that would be in the retelling of a story. And the same thing occurs. When a child is retelling, they are also working very hard because they have to remember details, engage their memory, organize things into a logical pattern. They have to sequence events and bring the story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and have in there some characters who meet a problem and find a solution. In a retelling, your child is activating their memory. And they are using language. They're letting it flow off their tongue. They're tasting the language of a storyteller. Now, there are ways that you can engage your child in the retelling of a story. And at the very beginning, you need to remember that if you are working with a child after listening to a story, the story your child tells will not be an exact copy. The purpose of a retell is not a test. The purpose is to give your child a chance to tell a story. Now, retells are not imitations. I've heard a retell of the Three Bears and Goldilocks where there were twin Goldilockses. I've also heard the story of the Three Pigs where they do build their house of straw and sticks and bricks, but they end up becoming superheroes and defeating their archenemy, the big bad wolf, not by huffing and puffing and blowing the houses down. So there are two parts to a storytelling activity if you choose to do the second part, and that is to engage your children in using language to practice the skill of retelling a story. And their story will be unique. I will be posting online some activities for you to use during a retelling. And these are ways that you can engage your child in art and constructing activities that will not require reading and will not require writing. But they are ways for your child and you to sit and think about the story that you would have heard and use the language as you create and make something that they can use to help them with their retelling. I'll give you one example. In terms of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, I decided I would make a mobile. So I'll just pick it up here. So this is a mobile, and anything that is suggested online will be made with available materials that you would find in your house or in your backyard. So this really is just a cracker box. And I've done the bridge for the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and also the goats. And as you will see, here's the goat. And of course, there is no Billy Goat Gruff story without the ugly troll. At this time, while you and your child are working on the mobile, you can be talking about the language. For example, in the story they say that the troll's eyes were big as saucers and his nose was as long as a poker. And as well, when he went over the bridge to make himself fat, his feet went trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. So just sitting informally without a lot of pressure, you talk about the story, you talk about the characters, what they did, and work on the product. But remember that it's not the product that's the most important, as you saw by my construction of the bridge and the goat and the troll. It is the process. And it's when your child is sitting with you and talking and thinking, and sometimes thinking and working in silence, that the learning is happening. Sometimes you just listen to a story. Not every story has to have an activity that follows it. So I'll post some activities that you can use with your child, should you choose to, on a sporadic kind of a basis, not with every story. And I'll be doing this by just putting parents and caregivers, retail 1, retail 2, just different suggestions that you can try. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy the stories, and I wish you good health, both physically for all your family and also mentally. Bye-bye.